You're not going to be able to see me very well because I don't have a light on, but I don't care. Internet's being goofy as frick today. Keeps going on and off, and loading, so I thought I'm going to bring back Thoughts Thursdays because there ain't nothing else for me to do around here. So there's a couple Thoughts Thursdays I have in mind, and I thought I'd start with the one that I had first, which is uh, global warming, stop the polar ice caps from melting sort of type thing. And then the next one will be it'll be a different one. Was watching the History Channel, aliens and stuff, and I stumbled upon my own theory just for fun. So I figured aliens and global warming that'll be popular online, right? YouTube, but they're actually thoughts of mine, so I think they're pretty cool. So let's dive right into one. Global warming. Like in high school, I had an idea, and I don't think I shared it with anyone, but I kind of did. I wrote it down several times, and I bitched about it online a couple times, as people do. And it's quite simple because in the last 2 days, talking with friends, or not talking with them, talking at them, I guess, and I thought of a even better idea to stop desalination, global warming, and not only stop or not postpone really either, but to not only just stop and postpone, but reverse it. The melting of icebergs, polar ice caps, sheets of ice, whatever they're called, shelves, ice shelves. That's what I'm thinking of. I can stop it, prevent it, reverse it, postpone it, do whatever you want to call it, but I can definitely control it. And it's as simple as this, people. Are you ready for this? Well, there's two things you can do. One, there's got to be millions of icebergs, and I think I saw somewhere on a show or online during research that I think there was a 2 in it, so I'm going to say like possibly 2 million chunks of ice floating out there somewhere. Or there's probably billions, but we'll say 2 million chunks of ice, roughly the size of cars, floating out there. If we took solar panels, just one solar panel that could harness enough power to power up barbs, freezer barbs. Like in your freezers, those are always freezing over. Here's my thought. And you're all gonna say, well, Johnny, salt water doesn't freeze. Bullshit. Do turkeys that are injected with brine freeze? Yes. Do hams? Yes. I'm a chef. I know these things. Freezers freeze salted stuff all the time. Everything has salt in it. It freezes. Trust me. If you drop the temperatures low enough, and trust me, some of these waters are below freezing. It just takes a bacteria and an agitation, and boom, you got frozen. So don't tell me that a freezer barb stuck on an iceberg would not, at the very least, maintain that freshwater iceberg and cause it to collect more and more and grow it into a bigger iceberg. Okay, I have 3 ideas actually. I just thought of one just when I woke up. But that's one of them. Put freezer barbs attached to solar panels. Endless supply. They're floating out there with no shade, no nothing, for 12, 15 hours a day, because some places get sun constantly, right? Where it's cold. So they could have an unlimited supply of free, natural solar power to power the freezer barbs, and it would never thaw out. No desalination. Then I thought of buoys. Now, I've seen buoys collect ice before, so this is my theory for that. If it wouldn't affect them, of course. If it would affect how it reads, like rises and wave heights and temperatures and stuff, well, I mean, obviously temperatures would change, but if we go to where all the cold ones are, same thing. Turn those into open air, like, freezers. Put solar panels on. I think some of them do have solar panels, if I'm being perfectly honest. But attach a freezer mechanism to them that freezes buoys. I mean, they're anchored anyway, so it's not like they'd be risk for ships, because ships know where buoys are, right? So it would freeze this mass of ice. And that would be like putting thousands of ice cubes into a hot, like, you open a can of, like, a soda, and it's gross. Put chunks of ice in, stabilizes it, makes it taste better, look better, smell better. Same thing, right? Same rules apply. The ocean is a giant drink. You put these ice cubes in, thousands of them, it's gonna make it taste better, look better, smell better, feel better. In a way. And the last one I have is, okay, so I've done the icebergs with solar panels. I've done the buoys, creating their own land masses of ice. To stop the polar ice, I mean, it literally is the same idea. Solar panels on top of ice that's, like, melting, like the polar ice caps. Put them on the edge of where a shelf's broken off or something, and stabilize it. And it'll take care of itself eventually. Like, in solar panels, they'll pay for themselves. Literally, within a year, I guarantee if we did 1, 2, or all 3 of these, it would completely stop all polar ice melting. Or an Arctic melting. It would reduce the amount of icebergs, small ones anyways, melting. It would just stop it. I guarantee it. It's so simple, and so simple, and so simple, so simple, so simple. It's so easy. Why not try one of these 3 things? If there's a scientist watching this, or a mechanic, or someone that's good with freezers that wants to change the world and has more energy than I do, go right ahead and steal one of these ideas, but give me the damn credit. So, freezer barbs attached to solar panels on icebergs. It doesn't have to be all of them. There's millions out there. You can just pick ones that look big enough to stabilize themselves and give them a little nudge of help. Buoys. That one might be more difficult because I don't understand who puts buoys out in the ocean anyways. But, and the added weight might cause them to break off the chains that they're anchored to, so stick with the iceberg ones. Nobody owns icebergs, so that's pretty much just free. And you can track them easily, you know, check the size growth. It'd be very interesting to try that. I wish I lived somewhere where I could. Anyways, then go to where ice shelves have broken off. I know there have been quite a few. Put the barbs in there to stabilize it and, like, boost it. Like, you turn on the freezer one, it over freezes, there's no problem. Half the ice, more like 70% of it's disappeared. We can refreeze that and slowly change back to normal, like, weather patterns, normal jet streams or whatever. Just whatever controls it is off balance. So if we get it back into balance, it'll go the opposite direction. In a couple generations, we'll have solved global warming. Maybe I'll live to see it. Who knows? I don't know. But that's one Thought Thursdays of global warming. Bye-bye.